Kids buying stocks and investing. Alright, today, Cash Kids, we're going to dive into one of my favorite topics, investing and stocks. What does investing mean? What's a way a kid can invest and purchase stocks? Keep listening. We'll answer all those questions and more coming up. Let's learn how to grow your money using these essential financial tools. Stay tuned. The Cash Kid podcast is underway. So, you got some cash, maybe from an allowance, or that money your grandma gave you for your 7th birthday.
Here you go, sweetie.
Woohoo! Thanks, Grandma! Whatever it is, what are you going to do with it? Spend it, hide it away, or maybe invest it? Let's start learning how to make that money grow. Time to learn how to be a cash kid. Since launching this podcast almost a year ago, I get asked a lot about investing. What stocks I like, where do I invest? My mom says that there are some odd conversations that happen in our house at times regarding stocks. I don't know what she's talking about.
What do you mean? I'll be cooking dinner only to turn around and you and your 9-year-old brother are discussing the gains and losses of a company over the last 6 months and whether now is a good time to buy. I mean, I'm sorry, it may be the new norm in our house, but that's not the norm in other homes. I mean, how do I write that in a baby book? Kids discussed Apple's stock today. Looks like Johnny is ready to buy his first stock. I mean, come on. It's a little surreal in our house at times.
Well, I'm working to make it more the norm, Mom. If you haven't figured out by now, by episode 28, I like stocks. And any way to make money grow without doing much. So, let's start with the basics. What does the term investing even mean? Investing is when you spend money with the expectation of achieving a profit. Lots of our parents like to watch these HGTV home renovation shows. What are these folks mostly working towards when they invest into buying one of these fixer-upper homes? Are they looking for an investment or money spent into buying the house to fix it up and then make a profit? In the stock market, when you invest, you're putting money into a company or companies with the expectation that you'll receive a profit in return down the road. I like the way Wikipedia describes an investment as a commitment of money to receive more money later. So, one thing to remember as kids, investing is not a short-term game. You are putting money into an account to let it sit and grow over time. My focus on the Cash Kid podcast is to get this concept across to my peers that time is actually on our side. Now, how do I invest? I get asked this a lot. I use an app called Greenlight. Greenlight is a debit card and money app for families that's managed by parents. It gives parents tools to manage and monitor their kids' spending. You can transfer money straight from a checking account into a kid's account on Greenlight. You can pay an allowance this way, assign chores, set savings goals, donate to charity, and my personal favorite, buy stocks. With the app, I can research stocks and ETFs and mutual funds. I can view charts, buy and sell stocks, see how much my stocks are gaining or losing me money. The accessibility on this app is amazing. Also, some shares can cost hundreds to thousands of dollars, and some kids just don't have that money. So on Greenlight, you can buy partial shares so you always can invest even when you don't have the money to buy a full stock. I do all my buying and selling within the app. Since then, I've had some time already to watch the stock prices go up and down. And I've gotten more patient with what I buy and sell. I'm reading books and doing more research to save up for stocks. I want to be able to afford stocks that I feel will give me a profit from my investment. My parents for Christmas this past year gifted me a subscription to Wall Street Journal and Barron's. I get up some mornings and just read about different stocks and businesses to see what's happening. Part of being an investor is being informed about what's going on in the world. Mrs. Wanda Maccabee, the executive director of the Alabama Council on Economic Education, addressed this in a previous episode regarding to playing the stock market game. Here's a refresh of what she had to say.
The stock market game is the perfect example of finding a way to help students see the real world connections. So on your portfolio, when you're playing stock market game and a stock goes up or down, sometimes you've done research about that stock, but a lot of times it doesn't matter how much research you've done. What's going on in world events will cause it to go up or down, whether there's a famine, or whether there's a pandemic, or whether there's a war, or whether there's a presidential election. And so we see those real world connections. So it's very important that students gain the knowledge and are equipped with the skills to look at situations, to make decisions, to see those real world connections, because that is what's going to impact them in their future as adults and being productive members of society.
So, you need to take a little time to be informed. You can look at the company's financial reports and see how much money they're making. You can also read news articles and see what people are saying about the company. We're still kids, and I'm not spending hours a day. I spend a few minutes a day browsing Wall Street Journal and Barron's articles. It's helped me for sure. Investing into stocks is an amazing way to help grow your money. I mean, look at companies like Amazon. They went up and split in like 30 years. If you invested 30 years ago, you would have made a lot of money. Investing in stocks is still a good way to make more money. When you buy a stock, you buy a small piece of a company. If the company does well, the value of your stock goes up, and you can sell it with more money than you bought it for. But if the company does badly, the value of your stock goes down, and you might lose money. Remember, investing is not a guarantee that you will make money. There's always a risk that you will lose money, but you should hold on to it, because if it's a good company, it might go back up. And if you're not sure what to do, it's a good idea to ask a grown-up who knows about investing, or even just your parents. I've got some future guests in mind who I feel can help us know and understand about buying and investing stocks in future episodes. Right now, we're trying to lay the groundwork for understanding super financial literacy terms and be prepared to take action. Some of you already are, which is great. Cash Kids, we have more terms, discussions, and skills to learn. Thank you for tuning in this episode. Follow us at Cash Kid Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Pinterest. Wherever you are listening from, leave a review. We need your help to reaching a larger audience and building the financial skills of the next generation. If you have a question, please reach out to me at cashkidpodcast@gmail.com, and I'll answer it in a future episode. You can also reach out via our website at cashkidpodcast.com. Cash Kid, out.
The information presented represents the views and opinions of the guest. This podcast does not intend to provide personal investment advice. This content has been made for informational and educational purposes only. To make a full and informed investment decision, we advise you to speak with a financial advisor. And for kids, definitely your parents first before investing.